Hello guys, today I'm very excited. I have a special video for you. We have big news on the channel, which is that I've started collaborating with Maratac on their product reviews with Counticom, and Maratac is their brand. If you are an EDC enthusiast, if you like titanium and premium material EDC items, little tools, you may and you most likely know about Maratac, that brand Maratac, and the website is Counticom. They are just now celebrating their 33rd anniversary, so they've been around for over 3 decades. I personally found out about Counticom. I was just searching for a very good keychain flashlight, and I did a lot of research and ended up on Counticom. This is a US made product. Materials are always premium, and not only the body, chassis, or whatever the machining part is made in the States, but quite often the electronics they use inside are proprietary and made for them, and as far as I know, much of it is done in the States, so it's largely or fully a US made product. This I purchased over 10 years ago. I purchased two. This I believe is a revision 2. It's a copper flashlight of their own, of Maratac, and they made in aluminum for sure. I'm not sure about stainless steel back in those days, but they had copper and they had titanium premium. So I went for the brass version and an aluminum version, and the aluminum one I gifted to my friend, who is still using it after 10 years, still using as it was performing on day one. So I have known about Counticom and their brand Maratac for over a decade, been following them, and they keep coming up with revisions and new versions of their products, etc. So right now I have a bunch of their products, but right now we will be talking about fire starters, and specifically their lighters, and these flint wheels that they sent over in 2 versions. Their lighters, I have one in titanium, as you can see, and this is their smallest size. This is the split P, and this is their XL size. They do XL size in a variety of materials. They just sold out of the aluminum one. They make this copper one for around $60, and they make all 3 versions, which there is the so this is the Peanut XL, there is a regular Peanut in between, and this is the split P, the smallest version. They work with a variety of materials. Now, to start with the packaging, I'm very glad to say that what they send out is a lifetime supply. If you know much about how Zippo type of kerosene lighters work, this wick will last you. First of all, there's one in here. I believe you have to cut one at least in half, if not in 3 pieces, to put it in. And the wick is not what burns, right? It takes forever for the wick to burn, especially if you have it fueled up well. So you basically have a lifetime supply, and in case you do run out, this is readily available anywhere in the world. Now we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional ferrocerium rods for the flint wheel inside once that runs out. And you get 2 additional O-rings. This is important to specify some things about the O-rings. This is the Bruna premium quality O-rings, and they are specifically made for use with petroleum products, and they will not swell and they will not get damaged. What you do need to do is use some sort of petroleum type of petroleum-based lubricant to lube the O-ring, because that will help first of all protect the O-ring, so that the lips of the titanium thread kind of go over it without damaging it, and it will maintain your seal better. And that's exactly what the guys at Maratac advised, is to use petroleum-based lubricant. Now what I will be using is very simple Vaseline, and pure Vaseline as much as possible without additives, you know, not your lip Vaseline that may have some perfume and fruity additives, etc. You want pure Vaseline because, in case you didn't know, this is a petroleum product. It even says petrolatum. So that's what we'll be using again for testing purposes. I'm sure there's a higher cost, you know, very specific lubricants for this use, but I checked and Vaseline is compatible with the Bruna O-rings, and so that's what we'll do in this case. But I did make sure again that this is pure Vaseline without additives. So they send you the lifetime supply regardless of the model. So let's check how many stones or ferroserums. You get the same amount here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. This can really last you a lifetime. And if you see something happens with the O-ring, first of all, these sizes are readily available. You can purchase them on Amazon or in your local stores, but you do get 3 in total. So you get one here installed, and then two extras, not one extra, 2 extras. And again, if you care for them, they will last you forever. Now I've already put some Vaseline here to lube up the O-ring. So the intent is, again, I like to test products on the channel. I do need to quickly tell you about the difference in the titanium and copper, which is obvious. Copper will be way heavier, right? So and the size difference. But just for information, how many grams? We have 17. This thing I added for my keychain because I'll explain later, but anyway, it's about 17 grams for the titanium split pea, and the copper is 60 grams, 59 and 77. So about 60 grams for the copper version. Okay, so of course I'll test this, and I will test this guy. I don't want to put fuel in here yet because if I test this, I can basically calculate approximate on how much this will do, you know, how long it will last, etc. And it should hold the liquid fuel in there forever, almost, basically, because you do get a very nice, I mean, you can feel the seal of the rubber. Also, this copper has this circular brushing. It is not polished, so it has this, let me see, you can hear, right? It's very nice texture, helps with the grip, and also has a nice visual to it. Now this is copper, it'll get all kinds of character if you do carry it in your pocket. There's Maratac here. For the split pea on the titanium, they have a very interesting tiny font. You see that? And it does not seem painted. I asked them what technology they use to do this printing on here, and I will put it in the description if they respond in time of publishing this video. But yeah, this has tiny font, even smaller font for the code here, but it's done very crisply, so impressive. And it doesn't seem to be paint. Okay, so that's the split pea. So what we want to do is first let's extract. The way I do it is I just grab it by the wheel, not on the sides but by the wheel itself, and you have to wiggle it out. And this is actually nice. I've had ones that are floppy and will fall out. This is a very tight fit, and I actually like that. So before we get to the lube, this is one thing that I like to do, is have extra, so that I know in case I do run out of the flint, I have one inside of the lighter itself. So what we will do is place this in here, but we do need to try to pop this out. Okay, there we go. Now we will throw this in, push it down just a bit. You do want to keep the You want to keep the cotton fluffy. And then we place this back on top. Now we know that if we run out of the flint, there is one inside, a spare one inside. Okay, so now let's apply the lube, the Vaseline. Don't need much. I suggest that you put just a tiny bit extra on the threads as well, because it's not going to hurt. Especially this is titanium, but it wouldn't hurt stainless steel or copper. So what you can do is, before you place that in, thread this down a couple of times and wipe off any excess before you have it filled up. And with gasoline, just with a paper towel, wipe off any excess. Oops, there we go. Do that a couple of times so it spreads evenly. And voila, now we have the threads lubed and we have the rubber O-ring lubed. And now we can fill the lighter with fluid. I will be using this Zippo fluid, premium lighter fluid that I've had for 8 years, and it's been sitting on my balcony under the sun, snow and rain. But when I opened it, it has gas inside, so I know that it was sealed well. So go slow, no need to overfill. It will take just about 10 seconds for it to seep down. I can see the wick is already getting wet, so I'll just add a couple of drops to this and call this full. There we go. See, it's not sucking down anymore. Okay, we know for sure that we're not leaking. It did go down, so now we push down. So now we let it sit for just about 1 minute, and let's now try lighting it up. And there we go. What are the benefits of this? There's just too many. I'm here to argue that this is the best survival lighter, specifically for survival. Now for camping without emergencies, and when you're not limited on weight, etc., maybe you can just carry a big lighter. You can maybe even carry a torch. When it comes to EDCing something very compact and useful and durable, etc., this is, for me and for my philosophy, the best option for a survival type of lighter. Now of course I carry a knife and I carry a ferro rod, fire steel, and I start my fires with this as well as my big lighter or a Zippo lighter. But the thing is, if you really think about it, right, to use a fire steel, you need a knife. Definitely a knife or a scraper with a 90-degree spine, which the Garberg obviously does have, but you need something to strike this with. And then you need most definitely very, very good tinder. You cannot light a fire. It's very, very difficult to light a fire unless you know your stuff. You know your wood, you know how to select it and prepare it. It has to be dry. If it's not dry, you have to search for it, etc. It's just a hassle. Starting from zero with a knife and a fire steel, it's not that easy. I mean, yeah, on YouTube videos you can montage and cut out the 50 tries that the fire doesn't light, and then eventually you get the fire going. Maybe I'm not the best with the fire steel or the preparation of kindling, but that's not the main issue here. The main issue is, if it's survival, not everybody is an expert, so you have to take all these things into account. And for somebody that is not an expert, or for an expert as well, it's just much easier to have direct fire source. This is a fire source. This may be a fire source if you're in the right conditions and you have the skills. Now, of course, this is an entire huge fire steel, and this cannot compare to the size because the flint that is inside is tiny. So in terms of size, this is huge. But is that a good thing? No, not at all actually. It's much easier to carry this, and you get the spark from here as well. Now you may say, well, I'll just carry my big lighter. Yeah, you can carry your big lighter, but bigs sometimes run out. The worst thing that I don't like about these plastic lighters is that then you cannot hold it down for a long time. This gets hot, then it can eventually melt. I'm not gonna name the brand, but there's actually a brand that makes a carrier of this in silicone to make it waterproof, which is another unnecessary thing. You don't really need to make this waterproof. You can dry it if it gets wet. It's quite easy to dry. But anyway, I think that silicone cover has a little silicone belt to push down onto the lever if you want to hold the fire for a bit longer. So you light it up and then you put over the silicone belt. I don't like that idea because again, this can melt, and if you get overconfident and do not control how long you light it, then the entire mechanism inside will just melt, and then the lever doesn't work. The beauty of metal lighters, whether it's titanium, stainless steel or whatever, is that you can light this up and basically hold it forever until the fuel runs out. You can just do that. You can't do that with your regular butane lighters or your torches, etc. And so that's one very big advantage. Well, the size is the obvious advantage, right? It's tiny, and it's the size of, say, a striker. If you were carrying a striker with a ferrocerium rod, it's a tiny thing. The idea of the test I will do and the update is I will take this out and light it for 10 seconds until it runs out. So I'll count how many times I can light it and leave it for 10 seconds, and then I'll say that the fuel ran out. Now, is that the end of the lighter's capabilities if I have to use it in the outside survival situations and environments? No. Again, without the fuel, and people don't realize this, without the fuel, this is a much better fire starter than this still. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate and arguments about this probably, and that's fine. This is what the channel is for. Let's discuss. I may be wrong, but hear me out. So what people don't realize is that this has fire starting material, has it inside, which is the cotton. And cotton is one of the best fire starters you can get. It's a very flammable substance. So if, say, run out of fuel but I still need to get a fire going, you just take out, first of all, prepare of course prepare your kindling and everything, and then when you need to light your fire, you take out some of the cotton inside. And so let's demonstrate that. And we will use both the fire steel, and for demonstration purposes we'll use some other Maratac products. These are flint wheels that I received. This is under 10 bucks, 9 and something. And again, very thoughtful that they always send extra stuff that so that you don't have to go out and buy. So we'll be using both this so this is in brass, and this is the smallest one they make. They also make an XL size in titanium. This is really cool and robust too. And check this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 6 extras. But here I received 2, so that's 12 and 13, including the one inside. I mean, really, you buy a Maratac product, you're set for life. Now this has an obvious cut. You're not going to be going this way. It tells you you need to strike that way. This has an arrow showing you the direction, so you go that way. And so we will demonstrate how we can start a fire with like a Zippo type of lighter or a kerosene lighter if it is dry. For that we will use, let's do that. So cotton. This has just a tiny bit of Vaseline in it, but so it's slightly better combustible than regular cotton would be. So let's see how many tries we can do it with a flint wheel. We'll do both actually, and then let's do the fire steel. Okay, so we bring it in close. We go one, okay, there we go. So it lit it on the first try when I brought it very close. That's one. So that was the copper Saunders. This is Saunders. Okay, and let's now use this one. Again, you want to bring it in close. You don't want to be doing it from here. There we go. Let's say that our survivor out in the woods did find very good kindling. He's got it, or she has it prepared and wants to use a fire steel and a knife. Right? So I have to stand up first of all. See how much more effort I have to put into here, and plus now I cannot direct it. It'll just go all over the place, whereas with this one you can just bring it close. Sparks don't go all over the place. Okay, you see, first of all you have to catch the exact angle. If you don't catch the angle, now I know which angle and I'll get sparks, but not everybody can. Trust me, I've given this to people, explained, not everybody gets how this works. See, there was a good spark, but we didn't get a fire. Another, so that's two. This one is already winning. Three. So it took three tries. But you see, first of all, it takes two hands, and you gotta position yourself. I'm moving a lot of stuff around, and I can damage my construction of kindling, etc. This is a much more of a hassle than just using a flint wheel, or even better, using this if you're in dry environments and if you don't have difficulty of finding good tinder. So if you cannot have access to good dry tinder, then this is your best option. But if you're in a dry environment, dry climate, you may even go with this. And you don't need a knife to make your kindling. You can use your hands, break up, you know, use dry grass, leaves, etc., etc., bark, whatever. And you can start a fire with a Victorinox tiny blade. Just get enough tinder to start a fire going. So be honest, seriously. This is better than this because it just cannot run out as long as you have the flint inside. Whereas this, if it runs out and you're thinking, okay, I'll use the flint inside, you may take this off, but I mean, it's a hassle and it'll never give you the same type of spark and access to that spark as this will. This can break, come apart easy. This is done if you pay attention to, this is a Maratac product. You're not going to be breaking this. If anything happens, I'm sure they'll take care of you, but I mean, look at it. This is screwed down. Look at how thick. This is titanium. Where are you gonna break here? Only one notice I have here is, I know how to carry this, right? You just put this on your keyring. I'm not sure how you're supposed to carry this though. This would be unnecessary if you have this good knurling on here to grab, and so that's plenty. I would like to see this done a bit higher, maybe 2 millimeters, just like this basically. Same thing here would be great, because then you can carry this on your keychain. Right now I'm not sure how you're supposed to, but this is a great tiny survival kit item. Right, throw it in your tin box where you have your minimalist survival kit. This will start you a fire without any additional instruments. I will have links in the description below. I'm again extremely excited to start working with Maratac and reviewing their products. They're a great brand, and Countycom and the people there, great people. So let me quickly run through the pricing on these items from Countycom. Firstly, they also make a titanium fuel vessel by Maratac, $22, and for that you get this is the XL size, so I would say it's in the size relatively of the peanut lighter, the regular size. It's probably slightly longer, but yeah, so it has the rubber seals and it will carry your additional refuel of kerosene, and they sell that for $22. Now these items, the titanium XL Flint Spark titanium kit, and the kit includes these two, I mean lifetime supply basically, $21.95. The brass one, the brass flint wheel sparker, is $9.85. The copper XL Peanut, which also comes with a lifetime supply of your flint and the O-rings as well as the wick, that is $60.45. Now they often have sales going on as well. And the titanium, the split pea, this tiny one, the smallest size is $32.95. The peanut, which is the regular size in between these two, is $46.75. Those are the prices on the items. So check out the purchase links in the description, and please stay tuned. I'll have more cool stuff to review. Thank you for watching. Cheers.